We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the L3R3 podcast. We've got a pretty good amount of things to talk about today, most importantly of which, quite honestly, is Dragon's Dogma 2. But before we get into any topics, we got to talk about what we've been playing, which, spoiler, I just gave it away, at least for myself. But whoever wants to go first, let them know what you've been up to, what you've been playing. In fact, you know what? Fuck it, Twan. Start off.
Okay, let's go. I mean, I haven't really. I mean, in my free time, I've pretty much just been playing Final Fantasy VII. Like, I'm still working on that. I mean, last night actually, me and my brother, we actually booted up some World at War. So we've just been playing.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, we're just like, we've just been doing some 1v1s, and we just played some zombies as well after. That game is still so good, man.
World at War holds up so unbelievably well
Yeah.
that the campaign is like unbelievably dark in both
Mhm.
campaigns. That's a great game.
Yeah, so yeah, we've been playing some of that, and then, like I said, majority of the time I'm pretty much just playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like I'm getting close to the end, but yeah, man, I was really like mid cutscene. I had to pause it, because I got to do this show. I'm just can't wait for the show to be over so I could continue playing that, because I'm in a really good spot right now. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I've been playing. So Michael, you're up.
What have I been
Michael.
playing?
Those were your-
Nothing good.
That was
Nothing
Michael.
good. What?
Yeah, some mid game
Tell us
called
what you're
Dragon's Dogma
playing,
too.
Michael.
No, shut your mouth, Dawn.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth. What have I been playing? Well, before I get to the main one, I mean, I'm playing the same old as usual, Doom, and God, I've got to be playing 100 different games at the moment, and tons of Mech Warrior 5. I don't know if I can talk about this game for a moment. Can I? In the introduction?
You could talk about whatever it's your time to talk, buddy.
Man, all right. So when I first played Mech Warrior 5, it's when it came out on Game Pass. Was it 2021 when it first launched, if I'm not mistaken? And I really enjoyed my time with it, but I ended up dropping it. I don't really know how much longer I'll be playing it now, but I know I have at least doubled, maybe even triple the amount of time I have on it on my new save on my computer. And I'm really like getting into the weeds of like what you can do in that game. And it's a really fun game. It's incredibly frustrating and difficult at times because the AI are about as smart as Twan. Just kidding, Twan. But the friendly AI are not very bright. No matter what their rank is, I will sometimes give an allied mech pilot one of my most expensive mechs, and they'll still somehow come back with no arms, missing a leg, and all the cannons. I'm like, how did you manage that? But it's a fantastic time. It is so much fun. The story is really entertaining, and since I got like the complete collection or the DLC collection, I don't know exactly which one I got. I've been playing some of the DLC, and man, some of the DLCs that were made for that game are really, really cool. There was one that had me like essentially being you're a mercenary in this game, Twan, just for clarification. And I was hired to help out like a what Matt?
No, I'm sorry. Keep on.
Oh, and I was hired to help out like this invasion of a planet. And that entire campaign, I wasn't allowed to do anything of my free will. Like I had to have enough mechs with me. I had to have all my weapons, pilots, you name it, so it could successfully carry me through that entire campaign. And like we'd be attacking multiple planets, taking out defense systems, then landing on the planet, then taking out cities before getting to the capital. It was just a really cool experience because the base game doesn't exactly have that, I feel. So the fact that they did that for the DLC was really cool, and it felt like this giant global war that, like, just felt very. It was just awesome. It felt very midday might go away, ham, but yeah, man, it's a great time, and I'm happy I'm playing it again. I hope I keep playing it because right now I'm at kind of like the later half of the campaign, so it's freaking tough. It is a rough game. So
Ham, apparently Sony agrees with you, so don't worry about that, bud.
yeah, true. Yeah, but I'm having an absolute blast with that game, and hope to play it more. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2, and we're going to talk about that later, is also a banger, even if the game drops to like 2 frames inside a city. So that's a bit hyperbolic, but you know what I mean. Yeah. What about you, Matt? What have you been playing?
Literally only Dragon's Dogma 2.
Hmm.
I've not booted up. I take that back. I played NBA last night with him for a game, and as soon as that was over, at 2 a.m., I went back to playing Dragon's Dogma 2.
Right on.
That's the best game I've played this generation.
It's
Uh,
really goddamn good. Like really.
It's
And thank you again, Matt, for gifting
nuts.
that to me because I wouldn't have gotten it because I get intimidated by these type of games quite easily. So thank you for the early birthday gift. I appreciate it.
Don't worry about it. And in fact, happy birthday because I'm pretty sure is your birthday tomorrow?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Wait, what's the day on Wednesday?
March 27th.
27th.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, yeah. Happy birthday. No problem.
Thank you.
But yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm like fully addicted to that game. I know Mike knows, Ham knows in the chat. In fact, most people who follow me on Twitter know. I posted I got it on Xbox and PC before it was even out. Like I didn't even know if I was gonna love it the way I love it, but like I went ahead and bought it on both things, and then I ended up fucking absolutely loving the game, and I'm playing both of them simultaneously, two different vocations. On my Xbox, I'm a thief. On PC, actually, right now on PC, I'm a warrior. I started as a mage, then went sorcerer, maxed out sorcerer. Now I'm a warrior. And honestly, the best open world game I've played since Skyrim.
God damn, that's a high ass praise. And I can see where you're coming from though.
Yeah, just the amount of like the amount of caves I've been in, where some caves it's like, yeah, there's not much here. It's like, kind of a dead end. But there's like 3 or 4, maybe more than that, caves I've been in where it's like, dude, when the fuck does this end? Where there's like multiple boss fights in a cave. And it just keeps going and going and going. And then it takes you out on the other end and you're somewhere entirely on the feels like the opposite end of the map.
Oh, Too Big has a question for you in chat. We'll ignore his first comment. Just ignore that because we don't deal with heretics here.
So how? Okay, Too Big. I'm sorry, bud.
Thank you for the birthday wish.
How is the how does the two? I'm sorry. Okay.
How is the performance between Xbox and PC?
Okay, so Xbox. I've mostly I played a little bit on Series X. I'm surprisingly played most of it on Series S, just because that's what's in my bedroom before I go to bed. I play it there. It's
actually, I got a question to ask you about your setup. You share sometimes some pictures, and I notice your bed is like an inch above the bottom frame of your TV. Does that not drive you insane?
It does, but not enough to make me want to either A, get a new frame, or B, get a new TV stand.
Makes sense.
Plus what's great because from where I'm at, when I take the picture, I know exactly what you're talking about. From where I'm at in bed, that room is so much bigger than the last place I was at. It's on the opposite end of the room where it's I can see it still.
Okay, that makes sense.
It doesn't bother me, but I know what you're talking about on the photo. I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right,
Too Big to your question. So to Too Big's question, performance on Xbox is pretty it's solid until you get into the town, which is the same case no matter where you're playing it. You could be playing it on PC, you could be playing it on console. Once you get into the town, performance is kind of just screwed at the moment. Outside of the town, in combat with lots of things going on, it's 30 FPS, but it's not it's not dropping. It doesn't feel like it's, I don't know, like PUBG on the original Xbox One. It's not dropping. It's a pretty consistent, relatively smooth 30 FPS. So as for Xbox, it's pretty nice. It's playable. PC, for my PC, which I know most people don't have that kind of PC, but on PC it's great. I did what Mike did. I locked it to 60. I haven't really thought about it.
Well, great in the
Sometimes,
wilderness. Great in the wilderness.
yes.
Cities
Well,
are, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go on.
yes. No, for like the city, like the main city, it's like sometimes I drop to 55 FPS, and I'm like, eh. But it doesn't really bother me on PC. But yeah, consistent 30 FPS on Xbox for like 95% of the game of that I played so far. But yeah, definitely an awesome game. We're going to be talking about more of that. In fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that because there's other topics we need to talk about. But there's quite a few things with Dragon's Dogma 2 to talk about. First of all, just the fact that it's a fucking phenomenal game, like I said. Second of all, it does come with its issues, and we kind of just hinted at them. The biggest issue, in fact, my only issue with the game right now is performance. Uh, Performance on the game is very hit or miss. Um,
So just to clarify, for me and Matt's case, we both have the same CPU, a 13700K.
yes,
Do you have the KF or just a K? Pretty sure
I
it's
have
just a
K.
K. Okay.
I have K.
So essentially, should I give my experience first, or would you like to give yours first?
Go ahead, because once you give the PC thing, I'll talk about the Xbox and everything. Twan
All right.
hasn't even played the game, so Twan, I don't know,
I
buddy.
guess I'll just sit this one out.
It'll be a quick one.
It'll be a
Go
quick
ahead.
one.
All right.
So to kind of just give the lowdown on it, the towns and cities or anything with complex, quote unquote, complex CPU related tasks go on is pretty bad. And what I mean by bad is that I could be getting like almost like a solid. Okay, so I play it. I'm on an RTX 4080, i7 13700K, 32 gigabytes of DDR4 at 4,000 megahertz RAM. I could be out in the wilderness, 4K DLSS balance, max settings with ray tracing, getting about 100 FPS, which to me is fine with ray tracing turned on. Personally, not the greatest performance I've ever seen, but it's gonna be fine. But then there's actually sometimes I can aim, and it's actually happened at the beginning of the game at the first fort. You have to go into this first fort. If you could sometimes aim in the direction of a city, and sometimes you will get these performance related stutters. That was the worst case there. But once you leave that first fort, it kind of irons out a little bit. But yeah, mostly in the wilderness. I am getting usually like about a solid 90. But once you reach cities, very populated towns, it's just your CPU's getting hit unbelievably hard and not efficiently at all. Digital Foundry did a video on it, and there's a few tech tubers that put out their videos. It's not even utilizing threads and cores correctly. Apparently, it's not even using any threads at all in some cases. Sometimes if it does, it'll only use like 4 threads max, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes it won't even use most of your cores if you have them. It's a really bizarre. I've almost really not seen anything like it, at least to this degree, I should say. I'm not a tech channel though, so I don't have that same know-how on exactly what the exact issue is. Yeah, but like I could be walking around in the city and I'd be at one point have like about 80 frames or something like that, and I could look down an alleyway and it'll drop down to like 50. Um, it's really really weird. It's kind of confusing because also I think a lot of the things the AI do in this game, as impressive as it is for some of them, a majority of like the regular NPCs aren't that impressive, which is fine. They're NPCs. They're just random people that populate towns. So hopefully, which they did address, they're going to do some things to address performance in these cities. I'd be totally fine with reducing some of the population if need be. Like I really am not against that, but they need a bigger fix than just removing the amount of NPCs in cities. Um, yeah, but outside of that, there's some stutters out in the wild, nothing crazy. At least from what I could tell. Once again, I'm not as sensitive to minor stutters and such. I did lock it to 60, like Matt said, just because I just want to be consistent. I'm not He's a cloud gamer. Shut up, Ham. uh, I do lock it to 60, even though I do prefer my 100 plus FPS or 90 plus FPS. But I was just like, the consistency is what I want here. It's not a fast paced game. Well, sometimes it can be, but yeah, that's just my experience. Apologies for rambling on because I said I was going to make it quick. What about
Yeah,
you,
I'm gonna
Matt?
take a wild shot and say this game's doesn't work on Steam Deck.
I actually have no idea if anyone's even tried that. Matt, do you know if anyone's tried that? Where the hell's Matt?
I don't know. I guess he's gone.
Oh, I'm
I
here.
guess
Matt, are
this
you
is a
muted?
two-person
Sorry.
show. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I had myself muted. But
Okay.
what's funny is I was in a party with Han last night, and he said he was downloading it on Steam Deck, and
Let's go.
like I said, I was in there talking to him, and this was after we played basketball, and he's like, I'm gonna try this out on Steam Deck, and I'm like, God bless you, good luck.
No.
And he said he was getting about 9 FPS.
That's
So-
insane.
What was the
And-
resolution
and-
at though?
Oh, it was. I would assume 720p. I think he said 800p because that's what it was supposed to be at. He said, but like
This is the
he
thing,
tried
this
it,
game,
and
Yeah.
it was about 9-10 FPS according to him.
it's no matter what you do, it's all about the CPU in this game. On the GPU side of things, it's actually relatively okay, but when it comes to CPU, it's like a
Yeah, it's
fucking
not.
nightmare.
It's not great. Also, one of the dudes I subscribe to on YouTube, who like often, whenever a new game comes out, he'll do like a stream on Steam Deck just to see if he can play it on Steam Deck. And normally he'll stream a game for like an hour, maybe 2 hours if he's really into it and enjoying it. I saw he did a stream for Dragon's Dogma 2. It lasted 14 minutes.
No.
That's hysterical.
That's funny.
So yeah,
I think that's all you
not,
need to know. Yeah.
it's not. You can't play this on Steam. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. You absolutely should not. You should never do that.
Slideshow experience.
Exactly. It's not playable.
You would be playable on the PlayStation Portal. That's what we.
Oh my god! Not with your internet.
Yeah.
Not
I
with
was
your
about to
internet.
say.
It's a Steam Deck experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably
it's
is
my
playable.
God.
If that's the case, then it's also playable on my Steam Deck through Steam Link.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true.
In fact,
Mac,
at a better
outside of performance
frame
for a
rate, too.
second, like, can we like just talk about how goddamn fun that game is? Like,
it's ridiculous. That the
it is-
combat in that game is so fucking just. Every class I've played is the combat's just amazing. I haven't played a class and thought, "Wow, this sucks." I haven't.
it's so much fun, man. And I'm just playing as the archer. I haven't even tried out anyone yet. Like,
Archer might be my next one after
it
after Warrior and Thief.
definitely, it's a class that's very much reliant on some distance and using your like special abilities, which I feel like that's a given. But you can do some crazy amounts of damage if you know the weak spots and such. But
Mhm.
yeah, the game is just so good, and I feel like I'll get to sit here and talk about it all night. But poor Twan here hasn't played a new release in the last 40 years, so he wouldn't know what we're talking about. I'm just kidding, Twan. But
I mean,
poor-
even
yeah,
the
Twan
newest game I'm
hasn't.
playing right now is a remake of a game that released like 20 years ago. You know?
True, valid.
Game release when I was like 4 years old. God.
Yeah.
But the final thing I want to talk about Dragon's Dogma is, I don't know if you saw, Mike, but there is a patch coming, or they're
Oh, yeah,
working on a
fixing
patch.
DLSS.
Well, there's like a lot of things. As a frame rate cap to consoles, which is sorely needed because the variation between 30 to 45 just isn't. It's not
Good.
great. So yeah, just they're gonna allow you to cap it. It's not gonna be a forced cap. They're gonna allow you to cap it. There's also changes coming. I know, like, a big one for me and a lot of people is letting players start a new game even if save data already exists.
Okay.
Because that's like something I don't know if you noticed, but you can't make a new character right now if you already have a character.
Really?
So they're fixing that, which is insane that's the case in the first place.
They're gonna sell you a DLC or a
gaming.
microtransaction for another save slot.
Which, if I understand correctly, they were.
Wow, That's insane.
If I understand it correctly, that was the thing. Like, you can have another save slot if you buy it.
Well,
That's insane. That's just
Um,
fucking insane.
I could be incorrect on that, but I swear I remember seeing like posts on Reddit about that, people talking about it on YouTube, especially after the game launched. But I mean, I don't know. But like apparently they're gonna be fixing that, so that's good. But yeah, plenty of updates coming. Like Mike said, fixes to DLSS on the PC side of things, because right now FSR3 is actually better, which shouldn't normally be the case. But you know, it is what it is. It's in the state it's in. It's up to you to decide if it's worth it for you. But underneath all the issues that they're going to be fixing and issues that they might not get to for a while, it's a fun game and it's definitely worth checking out at some point. So yeah, that's the Dragon's Dogma 2 bit of this out of the way. But up next, I mean, which one do you guys want to tackle first? Toys for Bob, or do
I
you
think I
want
want to do Toys for Bob.
Yeah,
Okay.
Toys for Bob.
Toys for Bob?
That's an
Okay.
exciting one.
Bob's Toys.
So
Who is
this
Bob
from
anyways? Why are
this
you
from
toys?
wait, what?
Nothing. Go
No,
on.
I just said something stupid.
Oh, well, typical.
Go on, Matt.
This from IGN. Microsoft reportedly reaches agreement with Crash Bandicoot dev Toys for Bob for new game, and I'm going to bring this up here on the screen so you guys can see the article. Let's see. There we go. Now we know, like late last month. In fact, I think it was right at the end of February. Toys for Bob split from Activision, Microsoft. I mean, they were out of there. They're now an independent company, and they like they mentioned they did want to work with Microsoft going forward on their new games, and that's exactly what looks like is going to be happening. But they get to do it as an independent studio, so good for them. And it leads to the question. I mean, which I feel out of all
I'm
of
putting
us
money
here, I
on
know
Spyro.
you're
Like,
putting money on. I'm the same way.
70% it's going to be Spyro.
I'm the same
Yeah,
way. I think it's. I think
Spyro
it's
needs to
higher
come
than
back.
that.
Yeah.
I think it's higher than 70 because I think they did Crash, and listen, I'm not going to be opposed to a new Crash game if that's what they want to do, but like they just did, relatively speaking, just did Crash 4.
Yeah,
so
came out,
like
not that long ago.
2020, 2021.
Yeah.
Something like that.
yeah, like they did the remasters for Spyro, and that's cool. And
Well,
everything,
to be
but they
fair,
haven't-
like Vicarious Visions actually did the remake.
Oh,
True.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
Vicarious
never mind.
Visions did that.
No, wait.
But-
Wait. What remake?
The only
We're
thing
talking about
Toys for
Crash
Bob
Spyro.
did, Toys for
okay.
Bob did Spyro, the Spyro trilogy, and they did Crash 4. That's what they did.
Yeah.
I thought,
And then Beanox did
okay,
Crash
that's-
Race. Beanox did Crash Team
Yeah,
Racing.
Vnox did Crash. Why don't we have a PC port of that, by the way? All
Yeah.
right, I don't want to be mad. I don't want to get
because
mad about that right now.
nobody plays PC.
Matt, shut your
Mike.
damn
Next
mouth.
question.
All right, continue.
Next
Twan.
question.
You're the one. You're
Yeah.
the one. You're the one that knows.
Go ahead, Swan. Let them know why nobody plays
my God.
PC.
You literally
Because
have
PCs
a PC. Matt.
sucks.
I'm streaming this from my Xbox right now.
Your Series S.
Yeah, through the
Yeah.
Edge browser right now.
Through the
From my
Edge.
Series S.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
hilarious.
All
I
right.
wonder if I could do that.
I know.
Honestly,
Actually,
honestly, knowing the Edge browser, I think it's possible. Like
it might be possible. We
Yeah.
gotta
That's
try.
great.
We gotta try.
I mean, it's
that.
actually crazy what that Edge browser is capable of doing on the Xbox.
Oh, Ham!
Like,
Don't
you
make
could
me
actu-
mad about Horizon, please.
you could
Oh my God.
Like you could straight up like play emulators on it through the Edge browser.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
All right, I want to get my take on this.
Give
So-
your take, Mike.
All right, go. Go
So-
for it.
So, all right. First off, as somebody that loves what Toys for Bob does with their games and how passionate they are, clearly for Spyro, for Crash, and just those type of IPs in general, I'm really happy about this. I can't say for 100% sure that they're working on a Spyro game because I will never, can't really guess that. I don't have any sources.
I'll say it.
but-
They're 100% working on Spyro.
I hope they're not now. Just to be so. This the next time I can just make fun of you. I'm just
Listen,
kidding.
here's
I
the
hope it's
thing.
Spyro,
Here's
though.
the thing, Mike. Even if I'm wrong, nobody cares.
That's true, right?
Nobody
That's
cares.
true.
It's free
But,
clout. Nobody cares.
Free clout, nobody cares. But no, yeah. Toys for Bob, they just make great games. They're passionate. And they actually care about the they actually care about the games they work on. Now, what I don't know is, in your opinion, people are arguing whether or not this is going to be on Game Pass. It's absolutely going to be on Game Pass. If Microsoft is funding it, it's going to be on Game
Yeah,
Pass.
especially if it's their IP
Yeah.
as well, you know.
But the question is it going to be exclusive?
I
and
don't
that,
think it will be.
Yeah, that's something I could easily not see not being exclusive. I'm not going to put any money on that. I'm not going to make a bet on that, but I could understand them wanting to be, you know.
Well, I mean, technically, it's not going to be an Activision game though, so that's kind of a loophole when you really think about it.
Well, I mean, if it's an IP of theirs, that
maybe
if it's a Microsoft IP.
But what happens if it's a Banjo game, possibly? You know.
I mean, who knows at that point? But I feel like Microsoft, if Microsoft's funding it, I'm pretty sure they'd put that on Game Pass, especially if it's Banjo.
Yeah, it's Game Pass.
Right? Yeah.
It's
like I just kind of feel like if Microsoft is funding anything, that shit's on Game Pass, or only on Xbox or in PC, or don't let Mike have another take out. Ham, why are you harassing me? This man won't leave me alone. But that's my take, and I think that's great. I'm happy that it wasn't a long, like we had to wait months and months and months and months until we heard about this.
It was pretty quick turnaround. Yeah,
it's pretty quick, and I'm sure Microsoft's like, all right, you want to be independent, fine. We'll fund you as long as you probably just do this, that, and the other thing. But you're still independent. Got to worry about getting fired if the game doesn't sell 1 trillion copies in a week's time.
No longer in the COD mines too, so that's nice.
Yeah, right. No longer starving to death. In the bottom of the mine shaft, working on skin tight suits for some character next year.
Skins,
Yeah, Nicki Minaj skins.
Working on Nicki Minaj's ass.
Yeah, I know, right butt cheek in particular.
Have an entire team of people dedicated to
their ass. But no, I think this is great, and it's kind of like I can really see. But I'm kind of scared that Microsoft. I mean, this is my opinion, because you kind of can think of this for like the original Xbox One generation, where like they had so many random studios making games that they didn't own, and then they kind of burn the bridge, and then they lose them forever. And I really hope this doesn't happen, especially with Toys for Bob or any other studio, really. But yeah, that's
you would hope those are lessons learned.
You would hope.
You would certainly hope those are lessons learned from, because there was there's a lot of relationships that were doing really, really well during the 360 generation that I mean, it was like they actively tried to fuck those up. So I mean, we'll see.
That needs to be like the Xbox One generation, at least the first, like the start of it needs to be studied for like future generations. Like that needs to be like,
it's confusing.
It's just confusing.
It was like they got into a shooting themselves in the foot contest.
Yeah,
and they just were determined. They were determined to win. Yeah, right. He's the fat man.
the weapon was a nuke.
They blew their legs up. But
honestly, I feel like the Xbox One generation, like especially early on, like they had really good games. Honestly, like
they did. And they just burned the relationship.
Yeah, like they had Killer Instinct like right at launch. So they had Forza Horizon 5. They had Sunset Overdrive around that time as well. Forza Horizon. Yeah, like they're all like very good games. Like
it's just like what we're saying.
Like I would even argue it was stronger than PlayStation's or PS4's early days.
It was.
Like PlayStation didn't have the generation they had until like Uncharted 4 was the first one to kick. Actually, you could argue Bloodborne, because people will argue that. But for me, it wasn't until Uncharted 4.
Bloodborne was insane, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah. So
all right, what's your opinion on this one, though? I kind of like you kind of started and then we got sidetracked and then I went on. How do you feel about that?
Go, Twan, go.
I mean, I'm definitely excited, 100%. Like I said before, I'm like 70% sure that it's probably gonna be Spyro. Like, because the thing is, like, I don't see it being another Crash game. The only other thing I'd see it being, if it's not Spyro, would probably be Banjo. Like, I feel like Banjo actually has a higher chance than Crash, in my opinion, just because it's just something different, right? Like, because like I said, they've already did Crash 4. They probably want to work on something new, right? And especially if Microsoft's giving them the freedom to make whatever they want. And I know that the guy that that's the head of Toys for Bob. Like I know him, even he's really interested in making a new Banjo-Kazooie. Like he actually he's pretty vocal about that. So yeah, I totally see that being a possibility. But like I feel like the most likely scenario would probably be Spyro though. Let's be honest, because like they even kind of teased it as well. Like I think there was a tease like in the initial like indie announcement about like Spyro. I think something about horns or something. I forgot the exact quote.
Keep your horns up.
Yeah,
Or
see,
keep
like
your
that
horns
one.
on.
Yeah. So there you go.
They're a
So
bunch of
yeah,
furries.
it's fucking Spyro. Let's be honest.
It's
So,
them revealing their persona.
yeah.
Great.
So yeah.
Oh,
So
my
yeah, I guess.
Ham said Mike is making me really mad.
Good.
Yeah.
Deserved. Oh my God.
What's crazy is you mentioned Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
I think even if it's Banjo-Kazooie, I think it goes everywhere.
Yeah. Even on PlayStation.
Yeah, I like if and this is the thing, if Microsoft's going to be into this whole like, hey, every now and then we're going to put a game on another platform. I think Banjo-Kazooie is the kind of game you put on another platform.
Yeah, but I don't know, because the thing is, like, I feel like Banjo-Kazooie is like very it's definitely a pretty it's a pretty core first party title, you know. So I could see it possibly going to other platforms, but not at launch right away. Like I could see
I don't think it's a core first party title. They don't seem to care at all about Banjo-Kazooie.
I know, but like it's they had like, for example,
yeah, I can see what you're saying though, Twan. It's like
it's like it's a first party studio, like a core first party studio, right?
Yeah,
It's
been definitely a core studio. Definitely a core studio.
And
or at least Rare's a core studio.
It's an IP they've owned for over 20 years at this point, right?
That's this whole conversation's unfortunately just the reality of this isn't going to be every game, and I believe him, it's not, but it still opens the question to okay, it's not going to be every game, but it's got to be some games, right? And now people are like, what are those some games? So that is kind of, this is going to be part of that conversation, as much as some people are tired of it. I don't want to say me included, because I think it's fun to talk about. But yeah,
he's fucking tired of it.
Because I feel like most of the Activision IPs, I feel like those definitely have a good chance of just releasing everywhere on day one. But like I said, I feel like some of those first parties IPs will probably, like the core first party IPs, I feel like those have a higher chance of at the very least launching day one on Xbox. Even like the Bethesda stuff, I feel like has a good chance of launching day one only on Xbox, and then releasing on PlayStation afterwards. At least that's that's the pattern I see right now. So I don't know. Well, I mean, we have to wait and see what what they really continue to do with this strategy. So they say 4 games, but we'll see now, right? So we can only sit and watch at the end of the day. But either way, regardless of what happens, I'm probably gonna be playing this game when it comes out. So I know it's probably
I'll absolutely play it.
So that's I mean, what if exclusive, not exclusive? I'm gonna be there. So
I'll play
to it. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a new Spyro, because I mean, me personally, I prefer Spyro over Crash. But I mean, I know a lot of people feel opposite, but if it's a new Spyro, I'll 100% be playing.
Hey man, we haven't got a new Spyro game in so long, man.
It's been forever.
Especially like if you don't count the trilogy, obviously, which you probably shouldn't, right? It's just a remake. It's been so long. Almost feel like it's almost been 20 years at this point.
What's funny is as much as I enjoy Spyro, I haven't played the trilogy.
Oh really? You just played the PS1 versions?
I played the PS1 versions. I love the PS1 games. Love them.
Yeah, maybe you should consider playing the trilogy at some point then.
I won't. Yeah. And that's like a thing of like I always think about grabbing it, and then I'm like, yeah, but then they're gonna add it to Game Pass, and
it'll definitely. I mean, it'll definitely go to Game Pass at some point for sure. Let's be honest.
Exactly. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Who knows? Who knows? Honestly, but I'm happy for Toys for Bob, because listen, as long as they don't gotta perpetually make COD until the end of time, I think that's
That's a
W.
W in anyone books. Yeah.
And honestly, I hope that the first game, like doing this, is kind of a success, and that it kind of sets us like maybe a new precedent where it's like, hey, you don't have to be you don't always have to be under the thumb of a giant corporation.
Yeah, you can be your
Especially,
own, just get deals. That's it, you know.
I'm especially rooting for Saber Interactive getting out from under Embracer. I'm especially rooting for them. But we'll see. Chasing the Dragon is a better game. What is Ignite Your Date Night, Mike? What is that?
Let me read what he wrote. One moment.
I don't think Cam knows what he's even saying.
I don't know.
You're just
I
saying
don't know.
AI generated fucking words. Just
It's just he's just an
Ham
AI.
uploaded his personality into an AI generator. He's like copy and pasting things.
He's Microsoft AI. He's a my God.
All right.
But the next topic is the one I'm probably most excited about, and that is an Xbox handheld. Because Phil Spencer was talking at pretty good length about an Xbox handheld in an interview, and he kind of stopped short of saying that it's definitely happening, but like he was listing off all the things that he would want from this perspective Xbox handheld. And let's go ahead and bring up the article so that you guys can see. Says, as official Xbox handheld rumors swirl, Phil Spencer reveals what he wants from it. Quotes, what should we build that will find new players? I'm going to toss off to you. I'm going to get started first with, I think, obviously, we can all agree the thing that this needs to be is not a cloud device. It needs to be a native device. Otherwise, you just have the Xbox version of a PlayStation Portal, which I mean, me personally, I got no use for it. I just can't think of a use.
Neither does Twan, and he still bought one.
That's true. Twan, let us know how your experience has been with your PlayStation Portal, bud.
I mean, the thing I really like about it is, like, you know, especially when I come back from work and fucking just the thought of, like, you know, turning my console on, turning my TV on, sitting down up straight and playing the game, like that just feels like a lot of work for me. So what I do sometimes is I just it depends on the game too, right? Like some games work up really good with it. Like I've been playing a lot of Unicorn Overlord on my PlayStation Portal, right? Because I could just pick it up, lay down on my bed, veg out, and I could just pick it up and play it. And it's like a strategy game, right? So it's not like action, you know, it's not like an action based game. So it works very well for games like that. So
yeah.
Just as soon as you need to turn your camera in any direction, it shits itself.
Yeah, exactly, right? So yeah,
it becomes a brick at that point.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it's great for stuff like that. Just very slow, you know. At least for my internet, I'm sure it could work a lot better if you had really good internet. I've seen some people even play like Final Fantasy 16 on this thing, and when that's pretty much like a very hardcore action game, right? So yeah, I mean, it's like even then, like it still works pretty well even for my mid internet. So that's something, and I'm not even like optimally connected to my internet either, right? I'm using Wi-Fi for my PS5, Wi-Fi for that, so it's not the most optimal setup for this thing, and it still works pretty well. So I can't really complain too much because at the end of the day, I'm not giving it the best environment for this thing to work well, but it's still working decently well for what it is. So I'm happy with it for the most part. Like I said, it's mainly just to veg out because at the end of the day, like even with my Steam Deck and my Switch, I don't really take it out and play it because when I'm out, right? I'm talking to people, or I'm working, right? So I don't really have time to sit down.
Social butterfly over here. Okay.
So it's like I don't really throw myself in a corner when I'm out, right? And I play, I just don't do that. So yeah, like handhelds for me is just a thing where I just lay down on my bed and I play it. So I was like, you know what, the PlayStation Pro will just be fine because I could just lay down on my bed and play it, right? So it just kind of made sense. So that's why I ended up getting one. And yeah, I don't completely regret it. So There's that.
Completely. You have a really great way of selling products.
Thank you.
I don't completely regret my purchase.
I know this man
is incredible.
Hey, when's the last
that's
time you booted up that thingamajig that was like too much money, and you said it wasn't that bad?
Oh, the Jaguar, and it's been
Yeah.
a bit. I think me and my friend played it like 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago.
That's not too.
I'm actually surprised. I'm honestly kind of
it's not-
surprised it was even that recent, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I honestly the console's not that bad. It's actually real pretty. Like, there's actually some pretty good games on it that are
Not
worth
that
playing.
bad. You gotta find a different way of saying things.
you do. You gotta be. You need to work on your spinning things, because that's not
My
selling.
spending
it.
habits.
No, not spending habits. You need to work on like being able to spin things into positives.
Like
I
spinning,
guess.
yeah, you're spinning.
But I don't know.
It's not-
I think it's a pretty realistic look at it. You know, I don't like trying to. I just like giving my honest opinions on things. You know,
and
Like, I don't
that's
wanna-
totally fair, Twan.
because at the end of the day, I'm not a salesperson, right? So I'm not.
No,
really trying to
you're
sell.
not. So what
Yeah.
I'd say to that, Twan, is get a fucking headset, buddy. Get a fucking headset.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's another
funny.
story.
Telling me he doesn't completely regret his PlayStation 4 purchase, but won't buy even a $30 headset.
Yeah, I know.
What we doing, buddy? All right. Okay.
I know. I'm about to actually just send one to him because I got like a backup, and I might just send it to him. Because it'd be nice to hear from Twan more than once a week, because I don't want to suffer due to his.
Yeah,
headset.
like you know, I would join Discord, but I just honestly just feel bad because like I know.
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
want to know what
listen
you
to
do
that
if you
whole
feel
session.
fucking bad, then, bud?
Go ahead.
Get yourself a new headset when you're buying $300 devices every other week.
Yeah,
Damn.
take a week off of buying another old console that nobody bought ever, and buy yourself a headset. What are you in the chat talking about?
I don't even know. Mike's
Every
about
now and
to
then I
pop
look
until-
over at the chat. He's just going nuts.
Bro is
Yeah,
flying to Neptune see Genghis Khan 2 for what the hell does that even mean?
Get Viagra and Cialis 100% online. What are you talking about? Oh my god.
Ham just knows a person. Ham just knows a guy. Ham is the guy.
Yeah, Ham's the guy. Oh my god. I don't know what's going on with Ham right now, but you're cooking, bud. You're
Oh yeah,
definitely
but my
cooking.
take on the whole handheld thing, because we got way
let's get it.
fucking
Let's get
Jesus. I think a dedicated handheld would be great. I think it's needed. Personally though, in just my opinion, I'm kind of a little, in between. I want it. Like, let's be clear on this. I want it, but
Like, you're not gonna get it. You're gonna upgrade your PC.
Let's get a Steam Deck.
no. What I'm saying is, I want it. Like it's like a thing that I think is great. But what I actually worry about though are like how many devs are really going to want to port things to it, and take the time to.
Yeah, keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, it's all right. And that's kind of the only thing I worry. I get the handheld. Jesus Christ, Ham! You're going to make me have an aneurysm. But
Ham's fucking cooking in the chat.
Ham's losing it. But that is the one thing I worry about it, and that's a lot of people are like, it can't be a PC variant thing again. And I agree, it needs to be at least a dedicated. But I don't know, man. I feel like there won't be enough. I mean, I don't know for sure. Like, we know how games sell better if it has a Steam Deck variant. So, but I kind of do also have that worry that not enough developers, because Xbox is already in a place where, sometimes devs don't want to really, fully even optimize for the Series S correctly, or hell, even the X, because the game might not sell well enough or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, I do worry about, will this just be another crash, and will this just be a crash and burn, or I don't know.
I totally.
Actually,
I agree with what
I have
you're
a
saying
take. I have a take
Go
on
ahead.
this. So what personally, I don't think this is gonna be a standalone device like something like the Vita, for example. Like if at least if they were smart, what I think this is gonna be, it's gonna be a part of like the Xbox Series lineup. So it'll probably be a different model of the Xbox Series. It'll be like the Xbox Series P or something, right? And they'll try to then they'll probably have to make everything compatible with each other. That's what I think they're gonna do. You know, where for example, you make a game for the Series X, it's gonna be compatible with the Series S and the Series P, whatever they call it, right?
Oh, if they do that, people are gonna straight up just skip their console. Like,
But it depends on
think,
how much power this thing has, right? If it
Well,
really
that's the
is,
thing. You'd have to be able to balance the power and
maybe
the cost of the thing. Because the thing is, this thing could be as powerful. Like making this as powerful as a Series S. You're buying a Series S right now for like $300. Usually it's on sale for less, but $300 retail. If this thing is as powerful as a Series S, it's probably going to be about double that if it's portable.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of the balance. They need to find a balance, and that's probably why I think it'll be a next generation thing when like the technical leap is there. Maybe they can make something in a smaller form factor that's more balanced, just in terms of its hardware. But I also think the answer to this is honestly what they've been doing the past few years. I feel like they're kind of setting themselves up for that kind of situation because Mike mentioned it just a second ago, where like games now, I just saw like a report from, I mean, whether you believe it or not, I just saw a report from, what's that guy's name?
Chris something.
Christopher Dring was talking about like last year there were companies or a third-party company that was asking the question like, dude, why are we even optimizing? Like, why are we even bothering to do this for Xbox when we know our main market is PS5 and PC? I think Microsoft's in a position now where it's like, obviously you want to have every game because it's just, why would you not? But like they've kind of bought themselves into a position where it's like they can afford to do something like this, taking the risk that, hey, maybe there's going to be some companies who don't want to support us. But at the end of the day, in-house, they got the entirety of Bethesda, the entirety of Activision. They've got the entirety of their first party besides those things, besides those things. And then they're talking, like, even when the Activision stuff was going on, they're talking about, we're probably going to end up buying more stuff too. So it's like they're putting themselves in a position where it's like if this is something they do, they're going to miss out on games for sure. But it's also like, for me, if you gave me a way, I mean, I don't know what kind of technical wizardry would have to be done to do it, but if you gave me a way to play Elder Scrolls 6 portably,
day one,
on an Xbox and get Xbox achievements, I'm there. I will 100% be there for that. But it's just a matter of like how strong are your relationships with other developers, third party, like Mike was talking about, where you can be like, hey guys, we know this is extra work, but I mean, if you want to ship on our platform, this is something you have to do, and have them not be completely pissed off at you. So we'll see. I think it's interesting. I'm excited for it if it happens. Obviously, I mean, we don't know if it's happening for sure, but
that's what I'm saying though. If they do end up doing this, I feel like it has to be just as powerful as the Series S. That's what I think.
That's the thing. It would have to be because dude, if you do something less powerful than the Series S, because people already kind of bitch about having to optimize for the Series S. If you do something less powerful than that, they're going. Dude, third party's gonna be fucking furious.
Like, will fucking Rockstar even release GTA 6 at that point?
They might not even. At that point, Rockstar might be like, "Dude, fuck it. It's on PS5."
Screw you guys. PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, no, then they will do it. They will not waste their time.
That's the thing.
They will.
So
do
it's
it.
like
that's the thing. There are developers I would absolutely see them being like, okay, that's the game. Then, well, you're not going to get our game then.
Exactly, especially somebody like Rockstar. Take Two, where it's like they can do that.
And they get away with it, you know.
And honestly, that kind of attitude from Take Two, in regards to something like Grand Theft Auto or the next Red Dead Redemption, where it's like, okay, well, if that's what you're going to do, then we're not going to release it on your platform. That'll get Xbox thinking about second guessing about even releasing something like this.
Yeah.
So it's like, you gotta hope that those relationships are strong as fuck, and you also gotta build something that is at the very least as performant as the Series S in relative terms, whether this comes out, this generation or next generation. Like in relative terms, you got to build something that is at least as performant as a Series S, and that's going to be a task doing that and getting it under $600.
Yeah, they got to put the Surface team through their paces. You know, they got to figure out some black magic to make that work.
And
you know,
that's another thing because I think one of the last shows we had when we were still doing it on Sunday, one of the topics was that it was back when they did the business meeting. One of the topics was that the Surface team is actually the Surface team is doing something.
Yeah. And it makes sense for them to do a handheld, you know,
in regards to Xbox. And that's why I think if anyone can do it, it's Microsoft and the Surface team. In terms of a handheld, I don't know about a main console, but I got faith in them in that, but we'll see. I'm interested to see more on this.
Well, I'm sure they could do it. The problem is making it affordable. That's the problem.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure they can do it and make it affordable.
Yeah.
Especially with the help of the Surface team and also just technology getting better and more or the shortage is kind of calming down after the pandemic, I should say. But I'm interested to see more on this. Hopefully we do see more on this. It seems like they're heavily hinting at it. So I mean, who knows when we see it? I know they said they were teasing something about we're going to hear about something hardware related this year.
Yeah, it'll probably be Brooklyn.
Yeah, whether that's just the digital Series X or whether they're just skipping it. We don't know yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm definitely very excited to hear more about this. But I mean, honestly, guys, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Final Fantasy.
I thought there was something about Bungie.
Ooh, Bungie, I'm glad you brought that up, buddy, because there is something about Bungie. Do you guys like hero-based extraction shooters?
No.
What the hell even is that? What does that even mean?
Well,
what even is that?
Let me look up this Bungie article. Bungie Marathon hero-based extraction shooter. Because when I saw this, listen, my excitement for Marathon was already kind of it was only there because it's Bungie. An extraction shooter doesn't sound awesome to me. I'm not thrilled about it, but it's Bungie, so I'm okay, I give them the benefit of the doubt. And it was reported actually last week that they're moving away from players being able to customize their own character in this game. And now it's just kind of like Apex. It's a hero-based or Overwatch or whatever you want to
A hero-based shooter, yeah.
Just a hero-based extraction FPS game. And guys, I can't lie to you, this sounds terrible to me. It sounds like everything I absolutely don't want, but we are unfortunately going to be getting. Bungie's Marathon reboot changes leadership, pivots to hero shooter. I mean, I guess we could also mention the leadership change, something that hopefully helps Bungie because their leadership has been fucked for the last, I don't know, 5 years. And it's seemingly only gotten worse since Sony's kind of stepped in. I don't know what's going to happen there, but they're just in a fucked position. And, my opinion on this is this game isn't going to get them out of that fucked position. But I'm going to pass it off to you guys because I don't think anybody sounded excited when I brought up hero-based extraction shooter. So what are your thoughts?
I wasn't excited when they first announced this because it was going to be an extraction type shooter of essentially what's a retro first-person shooter. I've played a little bit of the Marathon series, and actually it's a pretty good game. It's actually a little bit more complex than I was expecting when I played it. It's a degree of complexity over even something like Star Wars Dark Forces. Which isn't a seriously complex game, but it's a little bit more complex than I would say Doom. You have to do a little bit more specific things and such. But I mean, it doesn't even from what I'm seeing here. I don't know. It doesn't really look like Marathon to me from the little I've played of Marathon. I don't know if that's an actual image. I don't know what that is. Actually,
that's well, That's not like in game or anything. At least not
Yeah,
that we're
I
aware
don't
of.
know, man. It's just kind of like,
That's the style they're aiming for.
and I'd be fine. Like if this was like their original image or whatever, that's completely fine. It is what it is. But it's like if they're still figuring it out and you've already announced it, it's kind of like what's that one game Microsoft announced? We haven't heard of it since
Everwild.
Everwild. It's like,
Yeah.
do you even know what the hell it is? I don't even know if
Yeah.
Everwild even exists anymore. Honestly, it probably is.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
probably just that one video. That's all.
Yeah, it's like it's like it's like I don't know, man. I'm not very excited. I wasn't excited when it was announced. Wasn't excited when it's like an oxygen-based extraction shooter. One article said, if I'm not mistaken, like you have to like, I don't know, it's some
Oh yeah,
weird
I know what you're
ass.
talking about. Like
There's
there's
like,
an oxygen system and everything. Yeah.
and it's like not that it can't be fun, but it's I don't know. I when I'm thinking when I think of Bungie, I think of like an epic single player story. Even though Destiny is technically an online game, but you still have this epic campaign you could play through, and you felt like you were still getting a full story. Um, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like what I want from Bungie personally. I mean, if this is what they want to do, though, then more power to them. Do it. But yeah, I can't pretend I'm excited for this personally.
I get that. I totally get that. Tuan, thoughts on a hero-based extraction shooter?
I mean, it's definitely not up my alley. That's for sure. I mean, even then, like this game in general was like a game I'm not even too interested in right now. Like I still didn't, like I said, I don't even know what it's really about. Honestly, we just saw that one gameplay. Well, not even gameplay. It was like
Not even gameplay.
yeah, it was just like
little
I don't know if
snippet.
it was in engine or maybe it was just cinematic. Who knows?
Look
But
like
Question.
cinematics, but who knows?
so yeah. So you take question?
What?
I
No, he
thought
said good
my
question. He said.
oh,
Good
I thought Michael said
Oh.
question. Like I thought he was.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
He said question. I thought
like
was
he's a
okay.
college student. Question.
Question. So you
Why
there
is
you go,
Twan
Michael.
like this?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I gotta see more about the game. Like I'm more interested to see how the game plays first. I just want, like, is it fast paced? Is it more slower pace? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what this game's supposed to be, right? So it's just really hard for me to get excited for it in the first place. And now I hear it's a hero based shooter, so it's like, it's I feel like there's so many games that kind of ruined. Like, I feel like Quake was kind of ruined with that whole like hero thing going for
Oh
it.
yeah, Quake Champions.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like, so it's like I kind of have a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to that kind of concept.
In his house.
In that concept. So
One's got a bad taste in his house.
So yeah, it's like I don't know. So yeah, I mean, like I just gotta wait and see more on it. But don't count on me actually playing this game day one. That's for sure.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's free to play. I'm going to play it day one. I'm going to find out very quickly if it's something I like or I dislike. I'm going to give it a shot because, like I said, it's Bungie. That's the only hope I have for this game is literally that's Bungie. And depending on how that whole leadership thing turns out, I mean, that might be cooked, quite honestly, because, like I said, the past 4 or 5 years, Bungie's fallen pretty hard. From what they once were, and it sucks, but it's like I don't know, like hopefully this is something that gets me excited about the company again, but I mean everything we're seeing doesn't sound promising, quite frankly. So who knows, we'll see. But yeah, that was the final topic. I'm glad you brought that up because I did want to actually mention that. But yeah, guys, anything else you want to
Final Fantasy 16 releasing on Xbox?
It sounds like it.
Yeah,
I think what's his name?
Yoshi P, whatever.
Well, no, like even before he came out and said something like recently. I remember multiple people reporting on it. I know Jez talked about it multiple times on Xbox too. I know there was a few. I want to say Jeff Grubb also said something about it. Whether you believe Jeff Grubb or Jez or whatever, like that's all up to you guys. But like, I've seen multiple people report like, yeah, it's definitely going to come to Xbox at some point. The thing that we're not sure is coming to Xbox is the whole Final Fantasy VII thing. That's the thing that a lot of people don't think is coming to Xbox.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. I feel like they got a pretty good lock on that from the looks of it. So who knows? And because especially since there's still another game that still needs to come out, right? It's supposed to be a trilogy, right? So,
God, that sounds terrible.
yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah. So, well, hey, you're enjoying it. And that's all that matters.
Hey,
But
it's good. Yeah, but at least Rebirth I'm enjoying. Who knows with the third game? For all I know, the third game releasing it could be straight up dog shit for all we know, right? So,
damn.
yeah. But well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, so far so good. Hopefully they could keep up that momentum for the third game. Maybe it'll release on PS6 or PS7. Who knows? Maybe they'll take the
Release on PS8.
Yeah. Yeah, and then after that, the Xbox Series Double X, whatever it's called, it's gonna probably release on that as a nice trilogy pack or something. That's what I could see happening. Like when all three games are out, they're probably gonna do like a trilogy release and bundle that with like an Xbox version, probably.
The third game is going to release on the Xtendo Station 7.
Yeah, when Microsoft buys the whole industry,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I'm all set for topics. Getting to the outros. I mean, Mike starts off on the outros, but let him know
You can find
they can
me
find
here every Monday. And
every single Monday until we die.
Oh God, I don't know about that, but you'll see me definitely most Mondays here if we have a show. And I sometimes stream over on the Game Drain. It's been a few days now, but I'll get to it again eventually.
Keeping the
Twan's
channel
asleep.
alive. Mike is single-handedly keeping the channel alive. God bless him. Twan, where can they find you, buddy? And when is your first video?
Soon.
Soon. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
it's
good.
gonna. So yeah, you can find me here Mondays. You can find me on Twitter. It's me Twan. That's it. Done.
Well, a lot of energy on that one, Twan.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That man's dead inside.
We're going out with a lot of pizzazz. As for myself, you can find me here, obviously, every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern for the L3R3 podcast. Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern for the two-player podcast with myself and Ham Solo. And then videos every Monday and Friday here on the channel as well. And then on Fridays, I'm over on TSWS Gaming with Ham Solo, Loke 7, and Cozy Beluga, and usually a guest. As of late, it's been Mental 9R. He's a really great dude. But I'm over there for Bullsitting at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fridays, and then on Twitter at Malex Games. You can find me all the time. That's where you can find me. That's where you can find us. We're going to get up out of here. I'm going to go play more Dragon's Dogma 2. Thank you all for watching. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Nope.